All right, Josh, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How did you get into acting?
How did I get into acting? Would have started in 8th grade. I had soon there moved to Virginia.
Yeah.
Lived maybe 30 minutes outside of Washington, D.C.
Right.
Moved in with an aunt and uncle, my dad. And it was kind of, I was already in choir.
Right.
I had already been doing choir for years. And I wanted to try a musical, like try my talents in singing in a musical. And the first one that came up around the corner was Pippin.
Okay. Yes.
So I was very interested in going to try out. So I did, and I got a part in the ensemble. I was like really excited. Learned some music, use my little sight reading, use my different like little techniques here to do as good as I can in this musical.
Right.
And from there, it started. I was addicted. I was hooked. And soon thereafter, the same theater had just gotten the rights to High School Musical, and that was my second little piece that I got to do. So all from then on, it's taken off. That was January, January in 2006.
Okay.
So it's officially been over 10 years. I've gotten to do this. Yeah.
So what kind of shows have you done when you?
I guess I got hooked into that musical theater for a little while at least. Shows that were always very popular to me. I'd go see shows too. I just went and saw Beauty and the Beast at my local high school. So all of these shows that I knew, like Disney shows, had music in them or music related. So I got really, really interested in that little scenario and going to watch these different shows. So Pippin, and then I moved around. I guess, what was my next big show on stage? Anything Goes. Anything Goes. I was in a few Shakespeare productions. So you can't just like say I do musical theater.
Right.
I'd like to involve myself in more than that and see what's fun, see what's new.
Well, it's kind of interesting because I know a lot of actors sometimes they want to do drama.
Right.
You ever want to do drama?
A little bit. Although comedy is my favorite thing. I love to laugh, and I like giving the laugh.
Right.
Everybody needs a little joy. Everybody needs a smile, and
absolutely.
Sometimes that's just coming to this place and kind of doing that. It's what makes people smile. It's what made me smile for years and years, and that's why I'm still doing it. But yeah, there's a dramatic musical I'm interested in trying out for in this next coming week.
Right.
So yeah, there is that side of me that wants to get into more dramatic shows, get into more dramatic parts. And for film too, I'm really interested in film and shooting film and acting for film. So that's planned to be on the horizon. I would look forward to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you get into film?
I was 9 or 10 years old, and Christmas came around.
Right.
My dad was always taking pictures, always taking video for the holidays and everything. And lo and behold, I opened one of my biggest gifts, and it was a video camera.
Oh,
and a tripod and all this equipment. I was like, whoa. So I started filming me and my friends, doing bike tricks and sneaking around and sneaking into the local, probably shouldn't be in there, kind of water plants.
Like we all do.
Yeah. Of course. And we just got to film it and get to record and watch it and have fun just doing that. We made short little movies and just kind of watched them on our own, plugged it up to the big screen TV, which at the time, a big screen TV was this big old box that weighed like 900 pounds. But we'd watch that, and that was my first. I like to do this. I like to film and like to figure this out.
Right.
And even I found a video of myself doing karaoke on one of my old camera films the other day. Little 10-year-old me.
So how'd that make you feel?
That was good. It threw me back because it's where that began. It's where it all began. Is soon thereafter I was in middle school and trying out for shows. So that's how I got into film. And then there was this hiatus where I didn't obviously work too much with it while I was in middle school and high school. They don't have great programs for that, especially moving around as much as I did.
Right.
I couldn't stick to any one program, so I couldn't have learned too much. But then got out of high school and started taking programs at Lone Star, and one of the few community colleges in the country that offers associate's degree in like a video track and or like a live entertainment technologies. So I'm over there in their video track. I'm going to be graduated with my associates of arts degree here in the fall, most likely, and then I'll have my certification for film and TV directing here soon after that. I'm only 8 credits away total from all of this graduation. Like,
oh my goodness!
So yeah,
it goes so fast.
I know, it really has, and I've taken my time with it even too, but it still seems to have gone fast for me.
Life goes fast.
Yeah,
I just you moved around a lot. So is that because Dad's in the military? Is oil? What was
7th grade? I moved schools. So my first like little move was I guess Dad got into a relationship with a woman and her kids. We stayed with them. I went from one school area to a different school area.
Okay, right.
They split up there 2 years later. Stayed with him, kept staying with him. That was from Klein High School area to Cy-Fair District.
Right.
I stayed over there for about 6 to 8 months. I didn't finish my 8th grade year. I was interrupted. I moved to Virginia. It was called Leesburg, Virginia, town. And moved out there, stayed out there for about 3 to 4 years. And then I got out of there, so about 3 years. And came back to Houston, came back to Klein area, came back to see my friends, came back to finish my education, finish my predetermined path.
Right.
This kind of thing I had in my head, like, I want to be there. I want to be with my friends. Like,
right. Who doesn't?
These people are mean, man. Get me out of here. They really were, too. That's another story.
Oh, my God.
Living up north.
Well, no, it is very different, actually. The attitude is different. Culture is different. It's not necessarily bad. It's just different.
Yeah.
You know,
it could be construed as,
rude, whatever. Yeah, no, I mean, we talk about the, here, you can be in a large store. And the employees will come and say, how are you doing? That kind of stuff. Howdy, right? You could be in the smallest store up there, and they wouldn't give you the time of day.
No. Yeah, no.
You know what I'm talking
very
about?
Accurate.
Yes.
It's
right?
very accurate. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy the attitude with a lot of people. I mean, I'm not gonna go ahead and go so far as to say living close to one of the richest counties in the country gave people this inflated ego, but I saw it and didn't want to be a part of it. I was like, so
understand.
When can I get out of town? Get back to Houston. Yeah.
You gave up film for a while, but so you came back to it. So what do you like to capture in film?
One of my favorite actors is Jim Carrey.
Okay.
And it's like with these facial features, with these like little animations,
yes.
all these little clever nuances that make up a character. I like seeing that. I like capturing like the smallest thing and bringing it and making it like bigger than it actually seems to be. And that itself contains production value. So I keep finding these wonderful little angles, these fun little zoom ins that you just catch this character and it adds to who he is, who they are.
Right.
And so that's, yeah.
Have you ever gone to photography?
I skipped that, I guess.
You like to see the motion, not just the...
Yeah, right. A lot of my friends are in photography, and learning photography would help greatly. But I'm also into taking film classes. I'm learning those photography skills that I can apply there and here. So it's really cool how much I'm learning just in such a short period of time. Yeah.
We saw you, we did Chicago, and of course, you had a good time with that. The musicals that you really got into, is that really because of the choir aspect? Or
starting in 7th grade with choir, I'll tell you, one of my first standout songs that I remember doing in choir was Bohemian Rhapsody.
It's a fun song.
Yeah, we had this wonderful rock medley, and that was in it, and I got to do this little headbang thing. I had long hair then, I was a little rebel. So the choir started it, 7th, 8th grade. I was accepted into my first men's choir, all county, all state, something like I think it was all county. And that was when my school year got cut short. I didn't get to do it. But I made that much enthusiasm up for the next few years. Right. I had to keep doing it. I had to make all county the next year, all county the next year, and all state the next year. And then I was in local like show choirs, jazz choirs, and I have a proficiency taking in like music and like reading music. I started my own acapella group a year and a half ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and we've only done great things since. Mm-hmm. Like even performed here in Conroe.
Yep.
But that has paid off too, because as I said, I can read the music, I can understand the music. And it brings that much more stability on stage when I'm performing it too. All comes back in that circle is I want to put a smile on somebody's face.
Right.
With my acapella group, we started this group. It was the day of Thanksgiving last year, and I wanted to bring joy. I didn't have a lot of money. I'm not wealthy. I'm sorry, but I have something I can give.
Right.
That's my biggest thing. And so I brought some other people together who had something to give and wanted to give it. Mm-hmm. And our first year, we raised over $500 to donate to a local charity that I found.
That's great.
And we sang to them, donated our songs and the toys, like everything. This past year, it tripled. We made over $1,500 for the charity. Added MD Anderson Children's Health Cancer Center, and we have a new children's care center asking for us to do it for them this year.
That's great.
So I love it. I love it. That's inspiring to me, and I pray and hope that that inspires others. That's what I encourage, at least with this group. And I bring people in, and they feel it, and I can see their reaction from doing this.
Absolutely.
And that's a big joy to me.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is it about performance that energizes you?
Oh, man. I could tell you I could be having the worst day. I could be down on my luck, and then I get into the theater, and something turns.
Right.
I'm back where I feel comfortable. Always have. Walked into the theater in high school.
This is your home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I went into the theater in my high school. I was new to the high school. I just sat down in the chairs and looked out into the audience, looked up on the stage, looked around, and just took in everything. And I can breathe here. I can come to an equilibrium. It's nice. It's always been that way. And again, entertaining and just bringing like that kind of joy to other people. It's what I want to do. It's what I love to do. Yeah.
Do you have any favorite actors or actresses that you can go like, man, I want to be like that, or ooh, I could use that technique when I do this next time? Or...
Yeah. As I said, I love Jim Carrey. I exercise my face every day. Really big face.
Exercise, really? Like he does. I bet he did too. Just like Robin Williams or whatever, right?
Right. That's one of my exercises. Every time before I go on stage, I do it almost daily. It's just funny ways to express more, get more big, and for the stage, it's wonderful. Yes. For the stage, it's wonderful. For the film, I have people telling me they see me in class doing like student projects. They're like, "Man, I see you revert to that like theater like style, that really big." I'm like, so I get that, and
the film is different. I mean, it's amazing how just a lift of the eyebrow or something small, but it shows up on film, especially on a close-up. Right. Yeah, you don't have to do. I guess you'd be able to switch between one or the other mediums.
Right. And that's what I'm learning too. I'm learning day after day, like more video techniques to kind of enhance that with what I'm doing.
So when you're done, it sounds like you're going to be done pretty soon. You're going to stay here, go to California. What are you going to do?
I want to check out Austin. I want to see what their independent film scene is about because it's large. It's one of the largest in the country. I even thought for a time that University of Texas was looking good for their radio, television, and film program.
Yes, absolutely.
One of the best in the country.
Yes.
Again, financially, I'm still thinking about it. I am. It's on the back burner, I guess, just because of that reason. But I've looked into going to California. I've spent a little bit of time out there. I have a few contacts that I work with, and even one agent told me like she'd be happy to kind of like toss me around the mill, kind of let me go to the auditions. Sure. She would cast around, but I need to be there. I can't just be there for 3 months, 2 months at a time and be gone. And that's even giving it a lot if I was trying to do something here.
Absolutely.
Go for 2 months at a time. So it's either stack some money and then get out there and buy like the crummiest flat I can, or stay here for a little while longer, keep growing my trade, keep working, keep building references, keep working with people, and furthering that knowledge. Then get out there. But as I said, Austin isn't that far, maybe 3.5 hour drive. So I could dabble in that scene and see what that's all about. Houston Film Commission is starting to grow more and more too.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I want to see it all. I want to try it all at least. Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you ever do any songwriting?
Not in a while.
Really?
Not in a while.
Okay.
I used to have a book. And it was like started out like poems, and then it became like my little rap lyrics. It was just easy little spin right there. So, and lately, it's funny you ask, because lately I've had some real inspirations, like to kind of write some music.
Yeah.
I have transposed. I have slightly composed music, but I haven't written anything specifically.
Right. So when you do compose, what drives you to write a song?
Yeah. Well, it goes back to my acapella group. I hear a song and I like it, and then I hear different parts being played by like instruments or something, and I'm like, how can I make this like tone, this instrument? How can I put it into a voice, and like where does it go? Right. Like how does it fit along this, making this like lead vocal sound good and still harmonize with everything? Right. So that's my little thing when I compose or transpose, is I'm trying to find out how I make this song with maybe 2 vocalists pull out to 5 or 4.
So do you hear it in your head, or you bang it out on a piano, guitar?
I hear it in my head, and I can plunk out some notes on the piano. I've had a few piano lessons. I'm not nowhere near proficient. I should be even. But I plunk them out, and I have a program on the computer that I can just go up and down the scale, post up and down the scale, and keep going through that. And so that's really kind of where I get my inspiration to transpose this music, make new music from something old, and completely respect the classics, because that's what they are. I had a conversation with somebody the other day. It was how people consider these new remixes to be better than these old songs. And it's like, you may look at some of them like that. There are very few artists that can exceed, but as long as that new artist like respects and is honoring that old and giving it their best, then I respect that, and I try to be that. I'll try to do my best and hope. Sure.
What kind of music do you like?
Oh, that ranges.
You like all kinds of music?
Yeah. I'm not the biggest country person. Okay. Surprisingly, I'm born and raised here in Texas, but not the biggest country person. I do like certain country songs. I like musical theater. I like,
of course, yes.
Classic rock.
Yes. And we talk classic rock, something like 70s, 80s kind of stuff.
Like Zeppelin, the Beatles.
Right.
CCR, even further back, even.
Further than that,
yeah. But still, all of that time period, I feel like I grew up in the wrong generation.
Well, it's kind of weird, the music. It's 50s and 60s got some great stuff. But you start to get to the 70s, the so-called disco. Not everything was disco, of course.
Right.
And I know there were years where, maybe decades, where people just ignored it. They go like, we refuse to acknowledge that. And people are rediscovering. It's like, that wasn't that bad.
Classic rock?
Yeah. In fact, a lot of country now kind of sounds like classic rock from the 70s. You're like, what's the difference?
How they were all up in arms against Right. We saw that a little bit in Hairspray.
Yes. Absolutely. What roles would you like to do that you haven't done yet?
Okay, so there's this little Facebook thing. It's like my top five favorite roles would be, and someone sent that to me like a long time ago, and it still took me so long to get to. I still haven't gotten to it. I'm gonna go the Demon Barber.
Okay.
In
Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, Sweeney Todd. Thank you. Link Larkin was honestly one of my favorite roles.
Yes.
Like I got to perform that once, and that was one of my dream roles. I really, really wanted to perform that. Billy Flynn in Chicago.
Yes.
It's a great role because I did Chicago last semester at school, and fabulous production all around.
Absolutely.
But it really inspired me. I really liked that. And I want them to bring Across the Universe to stage.
Across the Universe.
Yeah, I want them to bring that from film to put it on stage and produce that. There's so many roles in that. Also, Rent. Rent has a lot of great roles that I'd like to be. Right. But that again goes back to the classic rock sound with the Beatles. Is Across the Universe had that classic rock sound, and to do that on stage would be awesome. I did Schoolhouse Rock last year and had the same style music, all with a good, healthy little education. Conjunction,
I love Schoolhouse Rock. I love those songs. They're great.
Oh, it was a pleasure working that show too. I learned some things. I really did. So that was cool.
So what do you want to do in terms of travel or something like that? I mean, when you're not doing theater and you're not just working, or how do you decompress?
If and when that time exists. I did 6 shows last year, along with 3 student commercials.
Oh my goodness!
So really little time to decompress. Maybe like a week off in between shows.
Oh my goodness!
Or something generally, and then I just try to pick up work. I don't really have off time. I've worked for the same company for 8 years.
Really? What's that?
Blue Water Seafood.
Blue Water Seafood. Okay.
I've worked with them for 8 years and not taken a vacation.
Right.
Everything's always been, I have class here. Right. This is my schedule conflict because of class. Right. This is my schedule conflict because of rehearsals. And then that changes completely because I can work all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. But then when that happens, throw that on the weekend. I can't work the weekend, but you can schedule me throughout the week as long as I'm not in class.
Do you ever sleep?
I think so. Vaguely remember some of that last week.
Yeah, I remember that I got 4 hours sometime.
Right.
No, it's incredible. I think it's, you want to stay busy. Absolutely. Because there's so much to do. There's so much of life.
Right.
Do you ever get to watch TV?
Yeah, that's one of my little decompress moments. Right. If I make it home at like 12 o'clock from a rehearsal, I like to try to watch an episode or 2 or something and just
like what?
I like Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Rec, yeah.
Great show. They just did their season ending, and I am on the season finale. Don't spoil it for me.
No.
I literally was looking at it yesterday. I was like, I hate watching the season finale because everything you've known about this TV show for this long a period of time. It's finally an end, and I've grown with all of those characters. Leslie Knope is my spirit animal, as what some would say. Her little enthusiasm for what she does is kind of like I take a piece of that. I'm like, this is my enthusiasm. I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep headstrong into it, and succeed or try to. I'm trying to. Lost, really good.
You do Walking Dead kind of stuff?
I do like Walking. I've kind of fallen off of it a little bit. A little bit. It slows down. It's hard to maintain that consistent consistent thing. When it started, it was amazing though. Obviously, and 30 Rock is another great one. I like Tina Fey as a writer, as an actress,
multi-talented.
Yeah,
incredible. Yeah,
very. And Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live has always been one of my big. I love comedy. So those sketch comedies, like, always new. I mean, sometimes they're hit and miss.
Well, it's true. Yeah, kind of interesting. We talk about comedy being born from pain, or maybe we would say life or something like that one. So when you do comedy, what do you pull on to make it a moment, or is it an escape? or is it a release, catharsis? What is comedy for you?
I've always been just very, very different, and I love it. I love being just outgoing to the point where I encourage other people just to like come out of their shell. Right. And I've done that to several of my friends. Like growing up, I've met some people in the past few years who were just so introverted and closed off. Right. And just hanging out with them, having like they open up. And not just to me, to other people. I've seen that. Wow. And again, that's kind of a big thing for me. Is I love the interaction with people so much is that I just I aim to keep myself happy by making others happy. Wow. I guess is the best point to say. Yeah. What
do you pass on to the younger generation? You know, like I know you do that with some of your film work and stuff like that one, but even in acting work, what would you pass on to them, or what do you like to pass on to them?
I've working with the Bravo kids with those couple of commercials. I really liked working with the kids, like directing on scene, like getting down in the dirt and showing them like this is what we're looking for. Like let's have fun with it. Right. Let's have fun with it. It's a serious moment, but let's have fun with it and make it good. So I do like passing on the drive, the motivation. That's what I did with the children's homes. Is I brought this song and all these ideas. Like, guys, we weren't able to give this to you guys. Right. Think of this as a bigger picture. Right. Someone else gave this. Right. Many other people gave this because this is a great cause, and like we care. People actually care. They may not be here with you, showing you care, but they care, and this is the support system we've gotten. Right. And that's the biggest thing I could say I like to pass on, because it really is. It's inspiring. It's inspiring to think one of these girls, she picked up her toy and she opened it and she was like, "Oh, it's a piano. I know how to play piano." I was like, "Oh, we got the right gift to the right hands." Like that was awesome to see. And then just these other kids like, "I want to sing. I want to perform." I was like, "Man, believe in it. Believe in it. Go have fun and do it. Make it happen. Like anything's possible." I really, truly believe that. You just got to push hard enough, and you got to keep fighting for it. Right.
How do you pick charities when you do this work for? Because I mean, there's so many charities out there, and they're all deserving. Don't get me wrong, but you can't give to everyone.
Right.
So how do you pick the charities that you?
I'll tell you, I was going to speak to like this Arrow Children's Ministry kind of church, and they have a children's care. And I called them and I was like, "Hey, we're doing this drive, this charity. Would you guys be interested in this?" And they're like, "We have had such an influx of toys coming in for our program. We have stopped taking donations." I was like, "That's wonderful.
That's wonderful for them.
That is wonderful. Right. Yeah, okay, terrific." And find who's really in need. MD Anderson Children's Cancer Center. That was. I had basically dreamed about that since I had started the charity. Right. It was in my first year's like dreams and hopes. Right. It got passed up. But I got a call on December 28th. Right. I was driving back from Los Angeles from a Christmas party. Right. And I get a phone call. I'm like, "Hello. Yeah. This is Josh." And, "Hi, this is Quinn with MD Anderson Children's Cancer Center. I'm sorry I didn't get to you before the holidays. We heard about this program, and we would love if you guys could do something like that." I about fell to the floor in my car. I was like, "Let me pick up my jaw real quick." Yes, I would love to work with you guys. Although this Christmas season is over, I'd love to keep you on... like retainer for next year. Right. I'd love to work with you guys. Right. Please send me an email. I'm in I don't even know where in the Arizona mountains right now. Right. So if you could I'm about to lose connection, just email me, please. I'd love to do this. So I had her information. She emailed me and just kept in touch and made that happen this year. All these kids were fun, like had fun singing along with the tunes. We sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed. I can't tell you how many kids like perked up with that. Right. And different races, different ethnicities, different religions. I could see them all in that room. Wow. And just all kind of like they could go get a toy, whether they celebrated the spirit or not. the spirit was behind like just bringing joy, regardless the matter, regardless the holiday, regardless the occasion.
Right.
So, and then the first home I picked, I kind of came across them early on in my searches for like a children's home because you don't see orphanages much anymore, that term.
Right.
So I found this home, and they just seem kind of hidden off the beaten track, and I was like, and they have 2 locations, boys, girls, and a girls' home. So I asked them if they had anything done like that, and they were like, no, we'd love it though. And so we brought it there, and I remember calling back this past season for Christmas, and they were like, "Oh, were you the guys with that beatboxer and the acapella group? Oh, we look forward to seeing you guys. When are y'all coming? We'll schedule it right now." I was like, "That's exciting," because we did it again. And then one of the girls from last year, she was like, "I remember you guys. I knew you'd be back." I was like, "You came right back. I told you." Yeah, we weren't gonna forget about them, so. We want to keep doing that and keep going with that because it really is so inspiring. And I hope that inspires other people to do something similar to that. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, you inspire me because I see how much you've done, and every now and then you look out and you kind of like, oh, gee, I just don't know about the next generation coming behind me. And then I see someone like you that gives so much. And then you still had time to come join us on the Christmas program, that we did, Christmas bells. And like I said, we've got friends that are just like, I just don't want to do a Christmas program because it's so busy. And they're like, oh my goodness, the gift of laughter that you give. Oh, it's just amazing. We're so glad that you could join us.
I was honored that I got the call. I didn't know that my table's allotted for it because at the time I was still in Rocky Horror.
Right.
The director for the Shakespeare Festival, Comedy of Errors, had just called me over there and said, we need you for like 2 to 2.5 weeks. And then we open and close in one day. I was like, okay. What's the details? Give me something to go on.
Well, I know you were pulling the Elaine Stritch for a while because you were going over to rehearsal over there, and you'd quickly come back over here from rehearsal.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because I'm needed for the opening of the show, and then I'm not needed till the second act.
Okay, fine. Run over there. Run over back over. Let's cross the street.
All right, Jim's like, can you run the scene one more time? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. We're good. I did it. Okay. One note. I got it. Okay. Thank you.
Across the street.
Yeah.
Another performance.
So, no, it was fun. As I said, I'm glad the timetables could work out so I could have done that because that was a joy of a show. Not a musical.
Nope.
So I was more than happy with that as another comedy, and I was very inspired with that kind of idea. So there I was ready to do it.
Amazing. So where does this inspiration, this goodness come from? Is that from faith? Is it from an example of someone else? What's inspired you to be who you are?
A lot of family. A lot of it was really my dad. I stayed with him most of my life. I definitely was able to go hang out with my mom whenever, and I live with her now. But staying with him growing up, he was really hard-headed, really driven, really successful, like to that extent that he wanted to be and kept trying to be. So I was like, I'd always go see him at his little seminars. Right. One occasion I remember is going out to Dallas and going to this hotel convention center, 4 stars, 4 seasons, something like that.
I know the 4 seasons.
Yeah. And they had their big convention center. He's like, all right, I'm going down there. I'm in the room. He's like, you can order room service. You can go to the pool. You can go to the spa. I don't care. Right. Have fun. And I snuck in his seminar just to watch him, and watch him command a crowd. And that was itself inspiring.
And that was what you wanted to do. You watched him inspire a crowd.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And continuing with him, we moved to Virginia. We started a family business. Started installing solar panels, generators, wind turbines, different.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit handy. Right. And that helps.
We've really seen that on set when you help out with set. Absolutely. Yeah, this guy's worked around set before.
Definitely. So taking in all that and just constantly watching us grow a business, grow here, grow there. whatever it took is exactly what it was.
Right.
And whatever it takes for me to be successful is I'm going to keep pushing till I find that little crevice, that little niche that takes me where I believe I can go.
Right.
Yeah. And so that's probably my biggest inspiration.
All right, man, I'm going to ask the question we've been asking everyone.
Yeah.
If heaven exists, what do you want God to say when you get to the pearly gates?
I say, you're finally here. I mean, we've been waiting. We got a table, and
I know you're triple booked down there, but you know,
right.
When you come up here, we can do fun stuff up here too, right?
Right. Yeah.
Oh wow! So if you had to pick something, an ability, a talent, or something like that, and you give up everything else, what would you keep?
Does the ability to stay humble count? Like,
sure. Absolutely.
I don't ever want to get my head too big that I can't see past, and I don't plan to. I want to stay where I am, keep doing what I'm doing. Yeah. All these like charities, these fundraisers, that's me. That's where I've come from, and that's, as I said, I didn't have a lot to start with, so I encourage the giving of that.
Right.
Yeah. And then hopefully keep the singing too, because that helps, and that's right. Part of what it is.
Right, absolutely.
All of this is part of what it is.
I definitely say. I think God would say, "Welcome home."
Yeah.
Josh, thank you so much for being with us, man.
Of course, thank you, Stephen.
Appreciate it.